in today's session, we'll be talking about the second workbench. So that is nothing but the part design workbench. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now today, what the things we do, we work only in the 3D workspace. Okay. So we don't deal with 2D workspace now. So we do use 2D workspace just because without any sketches, you can't do anything. Okay. So that's why what I'll do is I'll just go with this part design. Okay. So this is the second workbench we have. So we have completed Sketcher, and I guess you guys have practiced, and I want you to still practice the Sketcher. Okay. So now we'll just move on to this part design. So once you enter to part design, so if you try to select any one of this plane, it won't take you directly to the Sketcher workbench. Okay. So here what you have to do is you have to find for this Sketcher. So to find this Sketcher, it is easy. So I have told you in the last class also. So just go to this customize. So once you go to this customize, just bring all that, make that restore all contents and restore position, so that each and everything will come back to its original position. From there, you can bring all the shortcuts to the screen, whatever you want to. For example, see toolbar, restore all contents, restore position. So once you've done this, so what you can do is you can just bring these things. Okay. So this is called as sketch tools. So this is nothing but your drawing to drafting tools. And here we have the sketcher. If you want, you can just place it somewhere here so that it could be fixed at here at every time. So I have told you in the last class also. So the thing that is, if you want to check what are all the tools and what are all the commands you have in that particular workbench, so just click on this insert. So in part design, we have to learn the sketch based features, dress up features, surface based features, transformation features, and boolean operations. Okay, so this much we have to learn. So in today's class, we'll just deal with this sketch based features. Okay, so here the thing is the tools are placed very much easy to understand. Okay, so pad is a command which is used as a material adding command, and pocket is a command which is used as a material removing command. So the way it works and the things, what are all the things you have in this pad, the same thing you have in the pocket, but the operations become different. So if you use this, the material will be added, and if you use this, the material will be removed. In the same way, drafted filleted pad and drafted filleted pocket. So shaft, you know that you have used that one, right? So what I have told you, so that is nothing but the revolve protrusion, what we say. Okay. So next, the same way, if you the way you add the material in shaft, the same way you remove the material in the glue command. So hole is a totally different option. So it is rib. So we have for rib, it's a material adding. Slot is a material removing, and again it's a total different command. So multi-section solid, material adding, removed multi-section solid, material removing. So multi-pad, again it's a material adding, and multi-pocket, it's again it's a material removing. Okay, and the solid combine we have. So should I start it? Can you hear me? No issues with the network, right?
No, sir.
Oh, sure, sir.
Okay. So now the thing is, what I'll do is I'll just select this plane. I'll just go to Sketcher, or I'll just select this Sketcher, or I'll just select this plane. We'll go to this Sketcher workspace. What you have to do is you just, I'll just create a random sketch, and I'll just try to make it constrained by giving the dimensions. I'm not worried about the dimensions. I'll just keep it like this. So if you check it, it will be 100% ISO constrained sketch. So now from the sketcher workbench, if you want to come to the part design part, so what you have to do is you have to use this thing. So that is called as exit workbench. So just remember this thumbnail of exit workbench. Okay, so nowhere it will be written. So it will be something like this. So if you want to check it where it will come means, so if you press shift, so that is nothing but you have the thing called workbench. So from there it will be moved. Okay, so just click on this guy. So say exit workbench. So now you come to 3D part. Okay, so before selecting any tool, so what you have to do is you have to give a click outside so that it should not be highlighted like this. It should be free. Now tell me, if I try to add the material, so in what direction the material will start adding up? Any idea?
Next
The
direction.
X direction, sir.
X direction, right? Very good. So that means the material will be added exactly to, perpendicular to the sketch. Okay. So to add the material, so I'll just go with this sketch based features now. So I have this thing called pad here. So I'll just select this pad. So now it is asking me section profile bar surface. So I'll just select this one. So you can notice the material has been started adding up. So length, how much you want, you can assign. So I'll give it go, how much distance, I'll go with some 50. Okay. So if you want the same material to be added in the opposite direction, you have a thing called reverse direction here. Okay. So once you click on this reverse direction, the material will be turned on. So if you want same 15 in this direction and 15 in this direction, at that time you can go with this mirror extend. So if you click on this mirror extend, the 50 will be added here and the 50 will be added there. But in some cases, if you want 50 here and you want some 100 here, at that time what you have to do is, so I'll just keep it to isometric view. Now you have a thing called more here. So just click on this more and the second limit direction starts. So as you start giving the length, you can notice it is being added there, right? So I'll go with some 70. Okay. Any issues?
No, sir.
Okay. So once you say okay to this, so now it will be converted into a pure solid block. So if you want to rotate this, and see, so you have to press and hold cursor click as well as the right click, both the keys at a time, and you just rotate it, rotate the mouse, the things will be rotated like this. Okay. So once you want it back to its original position, just use this. So that is nothing but the isometric view. So once you click on this, it will be exactly isometric view. If you want to click, if you click here, it will be fitted to your screen exactly. And there is another way. You can just click and hold this dot and you can rotate this one also so that you can see. So which phase you want, you can see easily. Okay. So just click it back. It will be ISO constraint. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Any issues with this command pad?
No, sir.
Okay. So now
No,
this,
sir.
okay, so this was the case, it was exactly perpendicular to this. So now what if I want to change the direction of adding up the material? So at that time, what I have to do is I have to select the plane exactly perpendicular to this. Now I'll select this. I'll go on sketching. So I'll just go to the sketch here. Now what I'll do is, so you can notice, so this was the axis where the material was being added. Now, instead of that, I'll just create a line like this so that I want the material to be added upon this direction. I'll come out of this. I'll say, I'll go with pad. Now you can notice the material is still being added on X direction, right? It is not traveling on the axis what I have taken. So to make the material travel on the axis what you have drawn here, so what you have to do is you just click on this more, click this, switch off this normal to profile. So here the reference portion will be switched on. So at that time, just select this reference portion and now you can notice the material is being added on that particular line what you have drawn. Okay. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So once you say okay to this, now you can notice the material has been added upon that particular line. Okay. So same way here, if you could notice, we have done everything. So this is nothing but the thick part. So what is this thick and how the thick work means? So I'll just go with this part. I'll just select this guy. So just notice carefully. So once I select this thick command is switched on, say another outer lining will start here. See, you can notice, right? Another outer lining. So that is nothing but the thickness, how much you want. If you assign the thickness, the material will be only added on this walls. So the inner thing will become hollow automatically. See, got it? Any issues?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So here again in this part, there is a one more thing. So that is, so till now what we are doing was upon the dimensions. Now we have up to next, up to last, up to plane, up to surface. I'll just explain you how this things works. Okay. So to do that, I'll just need to change the sketch here. I don't want the sketch to be. So now I'll just go on the sketch. So I'll just take this profile so that it could be a continuous one. And notice one thing, the material adding process starts if and only if your sketch is fully closed. If your sketch is open, you will never be able to add the material to it. Okay. You will never ever be able to add the material for the open profiles. So I'm dealing with a closed sketch. I'm not taking it as a open profile. So I'll just close this like this. I'll say exit to this. So now if I'll just go with this pad here, I'll say okay. So now in any modeling software you take, any modeling software you take, every flat plane, even if it is a 0.001 mm, so you can draw a circle or a square of 0.000 or 50 mm. Okay, so that means every flat plane will act as a sketching plane to you. That means if I click here and if I go to sketch, my sketch will be directly taken on that surface. Okay, so each and every flat surface will act as a sketching plane to you in any modeling software you take. So now I'll just draw a circle like this. I'll say exit to this guy. So now what I'll do is I'll just start adding up the material. So see, now the material is being added in this direction. So in this cases, what we have to do is we'll just click on this reverse direction. So instead of dimensions, now what I'll do is I'll say up to next. See, this up to next is used if you have a different body here. Okay. For example, wait, I'll just show you. I'll go on sketching on this plane and I'll create a next body somewhere here and I'll just add the material in reverse direction. See, now if I go with this pad, if I go with up to next, see, directly it will take a connection between two entities. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sure,
sir.
sure, Lekhana and
Yes, sir.
Divya. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. See, this is up to next is used to add the material between two different entities like this. But if you want to add up the material in between this only, so what are all the things we have? Let's see. So I'll go with this reverse direction. So instead of dimensions, up to next we have seen. So up to last is nothing but, so the directly the software itself calculate up to the last surface and it will add the material. If you take the preview of it, you can notice this. So next we have up to plane. So up to plane means the what plane you will select, up to that only the material will be added. Okay. So now this thing will not act as a plane to you. So it's a surface. See, it is not being selected. Only this flat surfaces can be selected. Okay. So if you go with this up to surface, so then only this guy is selected. And if you say preview to it, up to that it will be, the material will be added. If you want to see up to where, from where it has started and where it hasn't, so we need to go with the hidden views. So to see the hidden views, you come to this guy. So this is called as shading with edges. So just click on this. So this is with shading. So it will show you without any sharp edges. And if you click here, so you have with sharp edges. So this is with clear edges. So there will be no disturbance in this. So next what we have, it is called as shade with edges and hidden edges. So now you can notice, okay. So the hidden edges, what we are seeing. So if you go with this shading with material, I'll explain you at the last. So the last thing is called as the wireframe. See, here you can notice each and everything. Okay. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now directly we'll move on to this pocket. So I'll use the same thing. So see, the pocket is here. So this is nothing but the material removing command now. So same thing. If you just click on this, there is no difference between this pad and the pocket one. See, any difference? Do you notice any difference between this dialog box and the dialog box of the pad what we had? No differences, right?
No, sir.
That means the operations are totally similar, but the output results what you get is the material removing thing. Okay, see, the material has been removed. Instead of adding up the material, so what we have done is we have removed the material. Got it? So now I'll just move on to this drafted filleted pad. So this is used in very rare cases. Okay, so just see this. I'll just go with this plane. I'll just sketch on this. So I'll just take a centered rectangle, something like this. I'll say exit to this guy. So now I'll just go with this drafted filleted pad. So this, what I have selected is my first limit. Okay. So I have the first limit going up. So in drafted filleted pad, the second limit is always the plane what you have selected to draw the sketch. Okay. So now it is asking me for the second limit. I'll select this as my second limit. Now it is asking me for a draft angle. I'll just give some up to 20 degrees so that it could be easily seen. Okay. So if I say preview, you can notice, see. So now the thing what I have done here is, so this was my sketch, right? So this rectangle was my sketch, right?
Yes, sir.
So now I had given some dimensions to it, right? I had some dimensions
Sir.
for this. But if you notice, it has varied. So the dimensions, all the dimensions has changed. Instead of adding up the material from here, the material has started shifted to here, right? So to avoid this thing, so what you have to do is you can notice the neutral limit, what it is taking it is taking as the first limit as neutral. So that means it is taking this face as a neutral face. So instead of that, if I go with this second limit to be neutral, you can notice that thing remain constant and this thing will be drafted with some angle from here to here what you have given. So that is nothing but the 19 degree. If you don't want this latent radius, just switch off this and you can notice. So this guy was called as the latent radius. So if you just switch off this, so this will be the first limit radius. The second limit radius is not been shown here. Okay. So why means, so the second limit radius is totally dependent upon these two radiuses. So that is nothing but this area. So the area what you are seeing now here, see this is called as the second limit radius. So that's why it totally independent. Okay. So it is dependent, sorry. It's not independent, it is dependent. Okay, got my point?
Yes, sir.
So, okay,
Yes, sir.
I'll say okay to this guy. Now to explain you what is drafted filleted pocket. So same thing I'll just go with, I'll go on sketching on this face. So I'll take a rectangle shorter than this so that I could scoop out the material from this. I'll just say exit. So I'll go with drafted filleted pad. I'll select this face as my second limit. So I'll just drop it down. I'll keep my second limit as neutral element. I'll say preview to this. Oh, I guess, see, the material has been removed, right? Okay, it has taken something extra. That's why the error has came. Now you can notice, see, the material has been removed in the same pattern how the material was added before. Okay, so this is how your drafted filleted pad and drafted filleted pocket works. Any doubt, any issues?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
okay, great. So now I'll just move on to this multi-pad and multi-pocket. So these two things are used rarely. Okay, so till now what we did is we added the material only to a single entity. See, now if I have multiple entities like this, and if I try to pad this guy here, see, if I say exit, if I pad this, so this is obviously common. See, if I try to add the material, automatically those enclosure will try to, do not try to add the material inside, and they will be started becoming hollow, right? Like this. Okay. So that's why in some cases, if I want to add the material upon this guys also, so what I have to do is I'll just directly go with this multi-pad. So I'll just select this. Now we have the three sketches out here. So I'll just click on the first one. So once I click on the first one, you can notice each and every sketch has turned blue from green. So that what it indicates means now I'm adding the material to the only border of this. So I'll just increase the material to this guy. I'll go up to 24. So if I click here, now you can notice this color has been only changed by this ellipse. So now I can start giving out the material to it. I'll just extend it a bit. If I click on this, so now the circle has been changed. So I'll just increase the material. If I say okay to this, so that much of the each and every sketch have been started extending, right? So got my point? Any issues, multi-pad?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, great. So now same way I'll just go with this multi-pocket. So here what you have to do is, so here you can dig down materials for different dimensions. Okay, for example like this, I'll go here, I'll go with this sketching on this plane. So here what I'll do is, so I'll take two of the sketches. For example, this one I want it to be fully drilled and this one I want it to be drilled to the half of the session. So if I take to take pocket, so you can notice each and every sketch is started being the taking the same dimensions. So that's why to avoid this, I'll just go with this multi-pocket here. I'll just select this sketch. Two of the sketches will be selected. Once you click on this, so this guy has changed the color. So that's why what I'll do is I'll just go with the limited dimensions to this. Here I'll just drop it down. I'll say okay to this. Now you can notice it's a fully hold, that means through hole, and it's a normal hole. Okay, got it? Any doubts with
No,
pad
sir.
and material hiding and material removing commands?
No, sir.
Okay, so you can
No, sir.
notice we have completed all the paths and pockets. Now I'll just to move on to the shaft. So shaft is a very good command, which is what we have learned in our academics as a revolved protrusion command. So I'll just select this guy. I'll go with sketch on this. So I'll just take a completely closed profile, that is that to half. Okay, so not a full profile. I'll just take a half profile. So now tell me what kind of output I'll get if I rotate this sketch upon this axis. What?
Circular, sir.
Circular, right? Circular, but it will be converted into a kind of bolt. See here, I'll just go to
Yes.
the shaft. Now it is asking me for a profile. So this is my profile. Now it is asking me for the axis selection. I'll select this as my axis and I'll say okay to this. See, it has converted into a pure bolt, right? So wherever
Yes,
you
sir.
see a circular thing, so this is the command you can easily use. So the commands what you have used for best example is your screw jack assemblies, right? So you did created the nut as well as the body of that screw jack by using this same revolve command. And if you want to remove the material exact way, so you can go with this groove here. So just click on this, so go to the sketch. So no, I'll just go with a normal rectangle. I'll just try to remove this much of material from this. I'll say exit to this. I'll go with this groove here. So select this groove, select this, select the axis and say okay to this. So that amount of material will be removed from this. Okay. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So now today I will explain you this whole and I guess I'll stop it here itself. Okay. So or else I'll just complete this slot ribbon slot, then I'll stop so that I could take this on tomorrow or day after tomorrow if you want to practice and all. Okay. See the whole command, it is the easiest command. So you just by selecting the whole, you just need to select a flat surface here. So once you select a flat surface, it directly takes to the sketcher workbench and it start working. So just click on this also. Okay. So here what you have to do is once it is done, so you have to click on this position sketch. So once you click on this position sketch, a circle will be start. See the point has been created here. So if you want to assign the dimensions to that particular circle, you can easily assign the dimensions to this. Okay. So now it has been shifted to 0,0. But if you have a exact rectangular, you can easily assign the distance, the vertical and the horizontal distance. So once it is done, just exit from here. Now it is asking me for the diameter of that particular hole. Sorry for this. Don't know why it's showing like that. I'll just go with this hole. I'll select this face. So if you want to place it, you can place it anywhere you want, or else you just go to this position sketch. So this is the particular point where the hole is being created. If you want to assign the dimensions, you can assign this easily. Okay, like this. So from here to here, how much you want, and from here to here, how much you want. I'll assign this as 0 so that it could be fixed to the center. So I'll give both as 0, 0. So it has fixed to the center. I'll say exit to this. Now it is asking me for the diameter of that hole. So what diameter I want, you just give the diameter. How much depth you want, you can give the depth here. So this is nothing but the normal hole theories. So if you come back to the type of the hole, so now it is a simple hole. So if you change it, so it will be tapered. So what angle you want and what are all the angles and what the depth you want, you can change it here. Same way we have a counter board. So if you click on this, so it will ask you for the counter bore diameter and it will ask you for the counter depth. So the same way you have a counter sunk hole where it will ask you for the counter sunk depth and the counter sunk angle. So again, you can change the plane here. So you can go with depth and diameter, or else you want only angle and diameter, you can give it here. So now the last type of hole is called as counter drill. So counter drilled hole is nothing but a hole which is a combination of counter depth and the counter sunk. So if you want it to be a V bottom hole, you just come to this extension and just switch on this V bottom and you can notice the V bottom hole has been created. Again, you can change the V bottom angle here, and once you say okay to this, so that sort of hole will be drilled. Okay. Any issues? Any doubts in hole? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So now I'll just complete this ribbon slot. Okay. So these two things are very much important. So these two things are very much important. How? The best example is, for example, see, I have selected this plane and I'm sketching on this. So I sketched a circle here, okay? So now I want the circle to follow this particular path, not this exact X and not this exact line. I want the circle to follow this sort of path, okay? For example, the path is something like this. So it's an axis path. So the thing what we know, instead of adding the material on this flat, on this perpendicular axis, so I can go with this pad. What I can do is I can just select this as my thing, and I'll just go with this more. I can just switch off this profile and I can select. See, it is only applicable for the straight lines. It is not applicable for this kind of splines and curvy sketches, okay? To add the material like this kind of profiles and this kind of sketches, we have to use this command called rib. So it is nothing but adding the material upon a guide curve, okay? So now it is asking me for a profile. So this is my profile and the center curve is here. If you say okay to this, see that sort of material will be added on this. Got my point? Got it? Any issues?
Can you please explain me once again, sir?
Okay. See, I'll just reduce, no, let it be. So we know that if I go with this pad and if I select this, I can add the material on the X direction, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to change the orientation, what we did, we click on this perpendicular plane to the sketch and we went on sketching. So what we did is we created a line like this and we have shifted the orientation of it, right?
Yes, sir.
So now what my orientation and or my path is something like this.
Yes, sir.
So now what happens means if you go to this pad, so the material can be added on this kind of lines, but the material cannot be added on this kind of curvy patterns, okay? So that's why what we have to do is, so I'll just wait a minute, I'll just edit this. I don't want this line now, I'll just delete this line, okay? So to add the material on this kind of curvy patterns, so it should be exactly perpendicular to the sketch, okay? So now just go with this rib, select this circle. So that is nothing but the profile what we say, and this is as the center path. So once you say okay to this, the material will be added and followed that particular curvy pattern. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Got it? Divya and Lekhana, did you guys got it? Divya and Lekhana, did you got how to use this rib?
Yes, sir, understood, sir.
Okay, great. So now the same way we have to remove the material. So what if you have to remove the material in this part? So I'll just select this. I'll go on sketching. So now what I'll do is I'll just try to create a circle which is a less bit shorter than this. So now I'll say exit to this guy. Now if I want to remove this, so I have to use the same curvy path, right? So if I want to remove the material in this particular pattern, so I want the same path what I have created before, right?
Yes, sir.
Got my point, what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay. Now can you be able to see that curvy line what you have used before?
Yes, sir. We can.
Where? So no, not this one. So see, this if you just click on this, you can't see that. Oh, sorry. See, now can you see that?
No, sir. It's not visible.
So it's not visible. Here your part navigating tree comes in action, okay? So here what you can do is, so the before command what you have used was called as rib. So in rib you have two sketches. So if it was minus like this, just click here. So in rib you have two sketches and that sketches are being hidden, okay? So if it is showing in this shaded pattern, you can notice the difference between. So now this is a lively sketch which you can notice on the screen, and these two sketches are hidden just because of this pattern. So what you can do is you just give a right click on this and say hide and show. And you can notice the first circle has been highlighted, which I don't want. I want the center curve. So I'll just hide it back. So just click on this, say hide and show. Now can you notice that curve there?
Yes, sir.
So now just click on this slot here. So just select that as your profile and this guy as your path. So now you can notice, if I say okay to this, you can notice the material has been removed, right? So now I'll just go with this hidden edges. Can you able to see that cutting inside? Okay. So any doubts?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
So